So I am on the Mingus Park Upper Trail, which goes from the park and the pond up to within a block of where I grew up. And this is the first trail I used to hike on, and what made me fall in love with hiking. So if you can, there's the trail behind me. Isn't that pretty? It smells like a Christmas tree lot in combination with like dank hummus. Just that earthy feeling, that earthy scent that it doesn't smell good or bad, whether you may like it or not, but it's like dirt. Real dirt, good dirt, the kind that you can like garden with using your hands. And anyway, so here I am walking along with my dog Tucker, pretty excited. All the things that I love, like trees with ivy on them, lots and lots of trees. I love trees. And I can hear the birds and different little animals scurrying about. Ugh. Log down. Big storms here. Anyway, so I was thinking about growing up and what it was like for me versus my kids, and then kids now. And I can't imagine what it would be like to have not spent like my entire day running around outside after school and on the weekends. There just was we only had a handful of channels and Pong. So there wasn't a lot to entertain yourself with inside, and why would you want to when there's all this? Anyway, so then I thought about my younger siblings. Yes, this is pretty steep, so I'm huffing and I'm warm. So anyway, when my younger brother and sister were kids, they're 10 and 15 years younger than I am. So they grew up in the 80s as young children. And even though I'm really breathing hard, even though my dad and stepmom lived on a cul-de-sac with speed bumps, and every single house had kids in it, and there was a green belt that ran down the entire length of the cul-de-sac, they still got driven to their play dates. Like seriously, even if they were 2 blocks away. And I mean, I used to ride my bike 2 miles to go turn in some bottles to get a candy bar, and when I was their age. And I think about then the difference between them and my brother, who's 1 year younger than I, and how my younger siblings had their cell phones, their cars, their college paid for, and I didn't. Not at all, on the contrary. That's fine for my dad. But then to fast forward to today, when kids' parents are arranging for them to have someone take their SATs, or they're showing their kids how to lie with photoshopped photos of themselves in order to qualify as athletes for college admissions. And this didn't just happen overnight. This was orchestrated I think. First, the feminists told women that we weren't real women, and or we didn't qualify as humans, unless we had jobs that brought us a W-2, and our names were on things, and then we could have value and worth. So feminists took women out of the home by making homemakers feel less than, and no one wants to feel less than. And then with the inflation by the printing of money, also a government construct and a socialist agenda. Just now we have moms that are not just working part-time, but are working full-time, and kids who are in daycares or with nannies. And then their parents feel guilty, so that they try to make up for it by spoiling them with, indulging them out of their own sense of shame. And now we have these kids, and I know that everyone's pointing to the daughters of Lori. I guess it's Lachlan. It looks like Laughlin, but I don't know. Anyway, the Aunt Becky from Full House. So everyone's talking about those two, and people are wondering, well, why are we pointing them out? Well, because her daughter Olivia Jade has, 2 million Instagram followers, and she's considered at 19 or 18 to be a thought leader. Fuck me. In social media. And yeah. So, oops, people. Come on now. So in any case, that's probably why those two are getting, pointed at. And I mean, it's the obvious, them getting in as rowers and having never picked up, a paddle before. Or I guess an oar. It's an oar or a paddle. Omar, is it an oar or a paddle? Anyway, so that brings us to, the girls are going to withdraw from school, and the mom's probably going to go to jail, maybe the dad too, for up to 5 years, and that's whatever happens is going to happen. But I'm interested in the two responses that I've heard. One from a playwright who happens to be a friend of Aunt Becky's, and he said that she should get a pass. It's called Texas punishment or something like that. And basically, it's a slap on the wrist and with a don't do it again. Well, we're not talking about leaving the refrigerator open and the milk spoiling. We're talking about the daughters getting a space that was limited to 7% of the applicants, which means because they got a spot at the school, someone else didn't. So that's theft. And lying and cheating are also forms of theft. So no, we punish theft. We do punish theft. And it is in no way similar, parents paying for that is in no way similar to someone's family donating a medical wing to a college. So all you stupid fucks out there that are comparing that, no, it's not the same. The people who benefit from that college are in the millions, and including the research and the jobs and what comes with the research. Nothing was going to benefit the school if Aunt Becky's daughters went there, particularly because they said they weren't even going to be going to classes, or one of them did. So people weren't going to have the benefit of her knowledge and expertise of foundation and bass tints and tones and things. Tucker, stay. Good boy. So the other thing, though, is that I have heard, some pretty mean-spirited things too, which, aside from the innocent until proven guilty and all that, I'm just more concerned about how we as a society, don't extend grace to people. Come on, Tucker. Okay, that little walk was a lot shorter than I remember it being. Wow. Okay. Anyway, I've become quite the hiker. Okay, yes, they're guilty of doing these things. There's no alleged to it. Now, whether or not the state can prove their guilt, but did they in fact fill out applications saying that their daughters were rowers when they have never rowed? Yes. And they've admitted to that. Did they lie and cheat for their SATs? Yes, we know that's true. So let's say that's true. So they're liars and they're cheaters, and that sucks. But we've all done shit that we're not proud of. Whether it's criminal or not, none of us escape without hurting somebody, sadly, unless maybe you have Down syndrome. But yeah, so these people are, in some capacity, the mom and the dad, the two daughters, in some way, their lives have been really turned upside down. And they are, they've not only been caught, but it's public. It's so public. And having had my reputation disparaged publicly, I can tell you how incredibly painful that is. Mine was not justified, and what was said about me were lies perpetrated by Craig Stephen Wright and the Bitcoin Cash, then Bitcoin SV people. But they did a lot of damage to me and to my children, and it was really harmful and hurtful and affected my branding, affected my revenue stream, affected my reputation, which my reputation is what opens doors for me, not and my integrity, not my financial position. But I can empathize with these people and their plight, and I think that's what I wish I could see more of, is not people like this playwright excusing their behavior, because it's criminal. You hurt people. Least of all your daughters, but other people. And, it appears that they're going to be sued for $500 billion or whatever. I don't know how that's going to go. But in any case, the people that respond are, on the comments and online talking about this. Yeah, don't eat shit. Good, hi. Yes. Good thing I was here. Cyclist just came barreling down and he didn't die. Woohoo! All right. Have a nice ride. Anyway, so I guess I really would be pleased to see, people wanting to hold them accountable, and at the same time being gracious and merciful and kind and forgiving and loving. Otherwise, all y'all are going to be really shitty parents, really fucking shitty parents. And that's concerning to me. Because parenting, especially early child development parenting, oh wow, that was good, Doc. Has such lasting consequences for the children and then everyone that they ever come across, because of, attachment issues and children understanding whether or not they're safe and they have a place in the world. So it's important that you're able to not approve of the behavior while still loving and approving of the human. And I see that is missing. On another, in a unrelated but in a similar situation, we see the same thing, right, between the MAGA and Antifa people and the vitriol that's been cast toward President Trump by, everyone, particularly with the media heading this up. And once again, the media is stirring the pot with these families, particularly the two actresses. Rob Lowe, actually, he has a couple sons, and one I know went to Stanford, and the other one went to Duke. So both of them are, very good schools. Not Ivy League, but people from Stanford would like to think it's an Ivy League school. In any case, he had said something, I guess, on Twitter, he had said something about, his son and his hardworking, good son. Maybe alluding to these women not having good children. And he erased it. He deleted it. Good on you, Mr. Lowe. Because, if I recall, you didn't have such an easy time of it when you were a teen and 20-something. So yes, I think be gracious to people, be kind, and in that way you will be able to have a hopeful expectation that kindness will be extended to you. And like Thoreau said, get out and walk in the woods, because that just will be a game changer and a mental health break, no matter where you are and what place you are in your life. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. Tomorrow is St. Patty's Day. Yay! And yes, my mom's a Macanary, so I'm going to be taking her out for a beer at a pub, and hope she doesn't forget who I am while I'm out there with her. That could be a scene. All right. If someone posts something asking for bail money, please pitch in. All right. Peace.